We are huge Disney fans. We love vacationing there for many reasons, and we are about 3 days out from our trip to Disney World. And I wanted to share with you a few things that we have done to help save money for this upcoming trip. And I am a mom of 2 boys. They are 9 and 7, and a wife to my husband Courtney, and we are Disney lovers. But Disney can be really expensive, so I love finding ways to help make the reality of going on this vacation semi-regularly, to make it happen basically. So there's a few things that I have done, especially this coming trip right now, that I found made a huge difference for helping to save for the trip. So the first thing I would recommend is to find out exactly how much the trip is going to cost. So if you go onto disneyworld.com, you can actually it's called Plan Your Vacation. There's a link. You can put in, what resort you would like to stay at, or if you don't want to stay at a resort, there's options of staying off-site and renting a pool home, for example. But anyhow, I would definitely type that all in, what dates you want to go, all of the rest, and then figure out how much it's going to cost you. I plan it out so that I figure out how much my resort, my tickets, in the past I would figure out the food, and I would figure out the whole total. And then what I would do is I would decide how much I wanted to put aside every single month for our trip, and then that would determine how long it would be before we could actually go on the trip. So that'll just give you a good idea of the timeline that you're working with. So that is tip number 1. Tip number 2 is to utilize points. So for instance, we utilize Air Mile points and Aeroplan points. Typically we tend to focus on the Air Mile points, and we use those for actually booking our flights. Air Miles are fantastic if you pay attention to the stores that participate, especially in the big ticket items or events. So a lot of times there's events throughout the year, things called like mega miles, where you can rack up really high amounts of points. There's also, for instance, at a grocery store called Sobeys, you can actually do Blue Friday, which is usually once a month, I believe, and they will give you loads of points for buying certain items on those days. And I know that I've gone to the grocery store before and came home with several hundred Air Miles from just one trip to the grocery store, and my bills were not overly expensive, and I really try to just buy the things that I would normally eat anyhow. So I would definitely take advantage of those point systems. The third thing I would do is to look around your house. This goes really well with decluttering. So look around your house and figure out things that you're not using anymore, that you don't want anymore, and sell them. When we've been decluttering our home, I have been putting lots of items onto Facebook Marketplace, and it is so simple to sell things on Facebook Marketplace, and they usually sell pretty fast, and if they don't sell, then I tend to just donate it. But I have saved up hundreds and hundreds of dollars from simply posting things onto Facebook Marketplace in just like the last several months. So I'd say since about October. So that is a great way to get some money for your vacation as well. Okay, so the last tip that I'm going to tell you about is the one that has had the biggest impact on our savings, and that is to utilize Walt Disney World gift cards. So for the last several years, whenever somebody wants to give me a Christmas gift, and this goes for my husband and my kids as well. If we don't really need anything, I always tell them a Disney gift card in any amount. So that's what we've done for the last several years. The other thing that I do is when I go to our grocery store or I go to the pharmacy, they have Walt Disney cards there as well. And I will add on like a $50 or $100 gift card onto my order whenever I'm checking out. And they have added up so much. I think that we have over $1,400 in gift cards that we're going to be able to spend on basically on our food when we're down there. So, or on, gifts and things of that nature. But that's a huge amount of money, and it doesn't really feel like you're putting a lot away when you just add the gift cards on here and there whenever you're at the store. So that is something I would definitely recommend to you as well. Another thing that we did is we actually do have a credit card that has a point system on it. But instead of using those points for travel, since we tend to use our air miles for travel, what we do is we actually use the points that we accumulate on our credit card and buy Disney gift cards with it. So that's another way to get some, a few more hundreds of dollars for your trip as well. So, but those are my 4 tips, and I have found that they have made a huge difference this year when we're going away for Disney. We were able to save and be mindful about the trip and how much it's going to cost, and really save up for it. So it's going to be extra special when we go, for sure.
Here's another tip that I forgot to mention as well, is that always check the Disney site to see if they have any specials on. So for our trip that we're coming up on, there was actually a discount on tickets to the parks, and it was specially for Canadian residents. We also took advantage of this one with 20% off of rooms at Disney World. So combining the two of them, we saved a lot of money. A lot of times you can get free dining at Disney as well, so that's another great time to plan your Disney trip. Okay, so here's Disney World's Plan Your Vacation. So you can put in the dates, how many adults, how many children, and I would just set it to all resort hotels and then check out the results that you get. But it's super easy to play around and just check out all the differences. With the air miles as well, I forgot to mention this website. It's called airmilesshops.ca. So if you're going to be buying anything online, you can actually go to this website and just click the store link before going to it. So for example, if you were going to buy something from Chapters or from Children's Place or anything like that, go into airmilesshops.ca. You're going to log in or sign up under your Air Miles card, and then you're going to press, you can just kind of tap in there under the search category, type in whatever store you're looking for, and then click the link and shop. And when you purchase something, you're actually going to gain air miles from that visit by going through this link. So that's something that I do all the time as well. Okay, and here's a peek at our stash of gift cards that we have that we will be taking with us to go on our trip. So yeah, this is like definitely almost 3 years of collecting these for our next trip.
So I hope that those little tips maybe helped you or inspired you, that maybe you can start to save for your trip for Disney as well. If you have any other tips, leave them below in the comments. I've probably left out some other things that we do that I just totally forgot about. And I know that there's other things that we could be doing that would make it even better for the next trip. So I am always loving to hear other people's suggestions and ways that they save for a big vacation as well. So please share those below. And thank you so much for tuning in, and I will chat with you next time. Bye.